Welcome back to class. In our last class, we were asked to install the PostgreSQL application and launch the pgadmin 4 app that can enable us, that is the user interface app that can help us work with PostgreSQL. So, which I want to believe that we have done, or we are almost rounding up on. So I just want us to look at the PostgreSQL and the sample database that we have downloaded, the DVD rental, and try to understand the content. Remember, I said we'll be working with this sample database. So let's try to study the sample database, DVD rental, and see the content of the database on your own. When you are able to understand the running and mechanism of the application, you can give your own commands and see what results you will have. So let's look at the sample database. This is our DVD rental. So remember, I told you the database are usually stored in the tabular relational database management system, of which PostgreSQL is one of. So look for our table. Yes, we have our table here. There are 15 tables in this sample database. We have the actor table, the address table, the category table, city, country, customer, film actor, film category, inventory, there's language, payment, rental, staff, and store. So let's look at this one after the other, and how can we study the content of this sample database is by querying the data. So for us to query, we'll come to DVD rental. There's a DVD rental. I click on it. See query to. So we click on query to. It's either you go here or you go here. See have query to. So it depends on what you want to do. So because I'm querying a specific database here, the DVD rental. So I click on this and then click on query to. So now I have the interface we wish to carry out our query. When you carry out your query, you see it here. Query history gives you a list of previous query you would have done in the past. So list of your previous query can be found here. So there we are doing fresh query. So I want us to look at the actor table. Let's look at how the actor table looks like. Remember, the first table here is the actor table. So we click or we type star. We type select, rather select first. Select. Remember, this is a structured query language. Select star from actor. This is our instruction. We've given it, we'll come here to run it, execute. So we'll run it here. Then we'll see. Okay. So this is the result of that instruction, the answer to the instruction we give. We asked to see the actor table. So this is the actor table. In the actor table, we have the actor ID. We have the first name. We have the actor ID. We have integer character here, meaning that they are numbers. We have the first name, character varying. We have last name, character varying. Then we have last update. This has to do with time stamp without time zone. So these are the details in the actor table. So that means the actor table has 4 columns. So see them. The actor ID, their first name, their second name, and their last update. So that's that. Next, let's say I want to query the address table. So I can just come here select star from address, click on run. We have the address table. We have the address table, address ID, address 2. If anybody has 2 address, then we have the district, we have the city ID, postal code, phone number, and then last update. So that's for the address table. Then next, let's look at the category table. The process still remains the same because we just want to get familiarized with the sample database we are working with. So this is the category table. Category table is made up of the category ID, then the name, and the last update. So remember, this is DVD rental. So the name of the category is action, animation, children, classic, comedy, documentary, drama, and so on and so forth. So they are 16 categories. That's for the category table. And then for the city table, let's look at city table and see what we will have. This is for the city table. You have your city ID, you have the name of the city, you have the country ID, and you have the task updates. So we have the country next, the country table. So let's look at the country table and see what we can come up with. Okay, so this is the country table. We have the country ID, we have the country of the country. You can see the country here, last update. We have just 3 rows to this. We have just 3. Remember, this doesn't count. This is just to help us keep tabs on the number of characters or rows that are here. So what are we looking at next? Let's see. Customer, the customer table. The customer table. Customer table. You can do this one after the other yourself. When you would have successfully have installed your PostgreSQL and launched your PG admin 4. This is the customer table. You have the customer ID, the store ID, first name, last name of customer, email address of customer, address ID, customer, then active pooling. You have create date and last update. So that's that for the customer table. Next, we'll be looking at the film table. Film table. On it. So here we have the integer, like the film ID, which is an integer. We have the title of the film. We have description. You can see epic drama, epic tale. So we have a release year of the film. There's language ID. There's rental duration. There's rental rates. There's length. There's replacement cost. There's rating. So that's that for film. Next, we look at film actor. Please take note how this is spelled. Where you have underscore, you have to put your underscore. Otherwise, the instruction you're giving will not be recognized. You have just successfully typed another language that this application will not be able to understand, and so you will not get the desired results. So always make sure that you type your characters exactly the way they are. Okay, so this is it for our film actor table. We have the actor ID, the film ID, last of it. So next we look at the film category. Remember, just like the film actor table, take note of the underscore between the film and the category. See, we have an error message here. Why do I have an error message? Exactly what I was trying to explain earlier. We have double Y wrongly spelled here. What is here is just a single Y category, the spelling for category, but I have accidentally typed two Y's instead of one. So this is not the language the application is programmed to read or understand. So it came up with this error message. So I simply have to just delete one Y and try running it again. Yeah, this has now been successfully run. And so we have three rows here: the film ID, category ID. So remember, this is film category. Then the last of it. And what else? Inventory. Let's look at inventory. Inventory. This when you download your app and restore your sample database, DVD rental, try to study your tables using this tutorial. You will not have this, so you just have to follow this lesson. So we have the inventory table listed here. It's made up of the inventory ID, the film ID, and the store ID. Remember, all of these have appeared somewhere before. At the end of the day, you can actually have one big comprehensive table. You really want to put together something of that, but these are different tables. So it's because it might be very cumbersome dealing with one big comprehensive table that these have been broken down to sub-tables to make analysis easier and less complicated. So this is for the inventory table. So next we'll be looking at the language table. Language table. We have a language ID. We have the name of the language. You can see here there's English, Italian, Japanese, Mandarin, French, and German. So these are the 6 languages that we can get from the movies in the DVD data sample database, and then the last update. So that's that for the language table, made up of 3 columns. We'll be looking at the payment table. Okay, so here we have the payment ID, customer ID, staff ID, rental ID, amount paid, and then payment dates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is column makes up the payment table, makes up the payment table. So let's be looking at the rental table. Rental table. Let's see. Okay, so here we have the rental ID, rental date, inventory ID, customer ID, return date, staff ID, last of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 column makes up this. So we have the rental table where details of all rentals are kept. So not main table here is the staff table. So we have the staff table. Let's run this and see what we get. So there are just 2 staff running this rental business. So we have Mike Hillier, we have John Stevens. So staff ID, first name, last name, address, and email, store ID, active link, username, active, yeah, username, password. So that's that for the staff table. Then finally, we have the store table. Let's see what is in the store table. The store table, we have the store ID, the manager, staff ID, the address ID, and the last copy. So this table all make up the DVD rental that we are going to be working with. You can play around with it when you get the knack of it, and see the, just put up easy to understand, easy to read over time, sample queries, and run it and see the results you will come up with. So I hope this helps us to familiarize ourselves with the usage of DVD admin 4 and the sample database DVD rental. Remember, I said we'll be using the sample database for this training, so I just had to go through this process so that we get to familiarize ourselves more with the sample database we'll be using in training, and then somehow I believe it will make it easier for us going forward as we shall be querying database on it. Thank you for staying with me to the end of this class. I hope you have learned something new. See you in the next class.